with flashy Macmillan new stock with adjustable cheek riser. The USMC M40A3 is here. M40, M40A1 and M40A3 on the table. What a show! But before we will start, let's jump on the shooting deck and see how this M40A3 as we know it is going to perform. Let's go. We have chilly wind and M40A3 on the deck. We are starting with the 305 yards habit from Amazon Failure, Rings of Power. I hate those habits. So we're going to try to whack that habit at 305 yards, and we'll see how we'll do. Ula, are we ready?
Yes, we are.
All right, enough with the bullshit talk. I gotta watch out for the wind. We got some risky conditions today, and we'll see what we can do. All right. Let me get behind the gun, comfy here. The wind is coming from east. I'll adjust a little bit for it. And look at that, look how we drifted on that plate. That was, wow, I would say, yeah, that was, I hold it right point two and we drifted almost to the edge of the plate. So that's a good warning. That's a good warning. Collect the brass. That's a good warning for the next plates. And the next plates, enough with the bullshit talk. We're going Ula to the 365 yards, and that's going to be a Know Your Limits challenge rack. This should be fun in those conditions. So we'll see. Let me make the adjustment, and we'll see what's going to happen. As soon as Zula is ready.
I'm ready.
All right, she's ready. Let me go behind the gun. See, I have to shift to the right now and check the parallax. I'm good. All right, let's see. I gotta hold on the right side here. And that's a beautiful hit. All right, let's cycle for another plate. Well, are we still filming, right?
I guess we
All
are.
right, all right. And look at that. The breeze is picking up. All right. Weak ejection. That's my fault. Come on. Wow. All right, we'll try to shake it off, that spent case. Wonder what that happened. All right, and let's see. I had such a good run. Whew, got that plate. Okay, gotta change the magazine now because we exhausted this mag. Collect the brass, collect the brass, collect the brass. Don't waste it. Going to pick another magazine. With the adventures, guys. Let's see. Holy cow, holy cow. How much to hold for that one? You see how we're drifting. Boom! Know Your Limits cleared. Outstanding performance by the shooter. Pull up 400 and we go 440 yards, the small target. Another small habit on the menu, but outstanding performance on Know Your Limits, and the adjustments for the wind were perfect. So well executed, but that doesn't matter anymore because we gotta go and whack another target there at the 440 yards. So as soon as it's all ready, I didn't like that one weak ejection. I probably have to clean the that there is like an ejector and the bolt, not the bolt but the bolt face too. Probably I have to clean this shit out because that was unacceptable, Mr. Rupp.
Okay,
So
let's go.
she's ready. All right, round in the chamber, and let's watch for that wind. How's my parallax? Always check your dope, check your parallax, right? Following the steps. But yeah, I was holding that much. Let's see. Boom. And that in the center. So, and see, again, it's like when you're going slow, he's got a tendency to keep those shells inside. So I gotta check this out, but that's on me. All right, Ulla, we'll go 450 yards that prone target, that little one, okay?
Okay.
Adjust the dope for it. Again.
Let's go.
Oh, you ready already?
Yep. Enough with the talking.
And now with the bullshit, okay? Can push the parallax a little bit. See it. Yeah, there you go. Much better. All right. Beautiful. Beautiful hit. Again, my problems continue, but we're plowing through it. We cleared the 450 yards. Ulla, time to go to the 505. And my dope is saying 3.1 for that. And we still got the rounds in the magazine.
Okay,
Oh,
let's
small
go.
target, small
Yep.
habit. We good?
Yeah, let's go.
All right. Trying to stay with that wind. A little bit on the left side, but not bad hit at all. We rifle so far is performing great. Ulla will go to the 555 yards, okay?
Okay.
But you see how little changes make a big difference. So on this, on the 505 yards, guys, I was right, basically right 0.5 already. And almost perfect hit. But yeah, the wind is the factor today. I still got the one round.
Okay, let's go.
Round in the chamber. Let me check parallax here. Make sure we are good. Oh, Schmidt and Bender are very forgiving. All right. Boom. Nice hit. And we cleared the mag. Ulla will go to 610 yards. That's where the target is. And we'll try to whack the small target. Okay?
Okay.
Small target on the menu. Another mag change. I should probably get those 10 round magazines, but that's okay. And my dope should be 4.3 on that. And I'll check the parallax right away before Ulla will get ready. Yeah.
Ulla is ready.
To adjust the parallax. Always, guys, when you got those scopes with parallax adjustment, check your parallax at those distances, because it is crucial, okay? It starts playing a difference. All right, Ulla is ready. I'll push a little bit more to the right. Woo! I touched that plate on the left edge, and this is with the increased wind call. I'll let that go. All right, let's go to the another target. 650 2 yards, and that's almost 5 mils on the scope. Okay, so 4.9 for me. And wind, as I said, wind comes and goes. This is the story of the day today, and you've seen what happened at the 600 yards. So and I increased that hold. It's funny. It's funny. The 308 gets moved, guys. This is the M118 LR, 175 grain, but it gets moved. So you just gotta watch out for it. It would be nice to have someone calling the wind constantly, but we are dealing with what we got. So, and so far so good. Knock knock on the wood. Ula, are we ready?
Let's go.
All right, round in the chamber. Oh, that wind is, I see in the scope, really picking up. Boom. I increased my hold, guys. My hold was right 0.8, and that was a good hold. Beautiful hit. Ula, we will go to the 700 yards. I will 710 yards. Let's try that little bastard, okay?
Okay.
We'll see. This is going to be really interesting. I'll try to whack that little target, and we'll go from there.
Okay, let's go.
All right. Well, are you ready? Check the parallax. Are we good? Yeah, we're still good. All right. 0.8 was on the last target. Let's see if this will work here. And I got nothing. That was a miss, and I can guarantee you I missed on the wind. Let me pull that one out. My God, this is annoying with those empty shots. Ola, will switch. How are you doing on that? Can you do the big target at 700?
Of course I can.
Yeah, I'll just aim lower on that, but we'll have more playing room for the wind. I wonder if I overcompensated. That's fine. We'll find out. A little bit disappointing I didn't hit that small target, because it's definitely in the capabilities of the gun. But it is what it is. Let me know.
Let's go.
Oh, okay. And there you go. See, I'm nice on the plate. And I know what happened, guys. So I overcompensated on that wind. I'll put the fresh mag. And I'll put Ula 2 more shots on that plate, okay?
Sure.
At least we'll try to make it happen, and we'll see how's that going to end up for us. Let's not lose that wind. Good position. Okay, good in the center, a little bit dipped, but I'm adjusting here. And one more shot. Dealing with everything. Let's see if we can go back a little bit higher. And we are back to the first hit. So one more. One more to prove that we can do it. And there you go. There you go, guys. Beautiful performance from the M40A3. I choked a little bit on the small target at the 710 yards, and from judging from that hit on the big plate, the first hit on the big plate, I probably overcompensated, but I don't know. You guys seen the video? I didn't. Anyway, going back to the studio to discuss those shocking results in details.
Would you like to try the little one?
Yeah, let's try that little one. I still got ammo left in the mag.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
All right, let me know.
Okay.
The wind is increasing, of course.
I know.
There you go. That's how it's done. Happy?
Happy. Now stay.
Yeah. Nice. That was nice. So I would say this was outstanding performance. Now the issue I had with that ejector plunger was, as I was expecting, it was completely dirty. And from time to time you have to clean those on the Remington 700 types actions, and it's very easy. You just gotta knock out the pin, roll pin, and you pulling out. Just watch out, don't let that plunger to escape from the bolt body. But once you knock out that pin, slowly remove the punching tool which you were using to punch it out, and capture the plunger and the spring. Clean at that channel very well, because for some reason on the Remington 700 types actions, that thing attracts the dirt. But that's all done. It's working fine now, and the performance I thought was really good. This rifle, which was built by PWS out of the Quantico, is an absolutely a riot to shoot. But the form of the M40A3 you see on this table was not from the beginning for the M40A3. So the quick reminder, we started with the M40 Vietnam era. That's what I got on my left side, Redfield scope, and basically a wooden stock. Then mid to late 70s, we got the M40A1, was still with the Redfield 3 to 9 scope at the beginning, but in the early 80s, mid 80s, Universal 10 power scope, very good scope, and that scope stayed with the M40 line up to the basically late 90s. And what was happening at some point, of course, if you will go to the 90s, those universal scopes were aging, right? That's normal. And the Marine Corps was running into the issues with the scopes losing a zero. So the US Optics was contracted out to perform the fix. So like surgical operation on the scopes, but the US Optics produce some of the replacements too. I forgot to say, Universal, of course, as a company, after decades of existence on the US market, finally, went down. I think it was related to the John Universal. I think John, that was the owner. He passed away. Either way, Universal company faded away from the US market, and that's nothing really new. In the 80s, a lot of those companies which were producing the optics in the States had a hard time to stay on the market. More and more scopes from outside United States started floating to the US market. Competition has become stiff. A lot of people realized that the optics made outside US are simply better. There is no other way to say it. But anyhow, going back to the Universal and the continuation on the M40A1, of course, but the early M40A3, which we're talking about the late 90s, early 2000s, they were still with Universal scopes on them. So the Schmidt and Bender, as we all know, was not there from the beginning. Now, that being said, in the 90s, the Marine Corps, they knew that they have to change something. M40A1 was a great rifle, but the time was progressing, and don't forget, if you look behind the pond, what British had, and of course the evolution of the L96 and the chassis system, and then that jumped and changed into the Arctic warfare from the Accuracy International. They were way ahead of us at that point. Especially on the scopes side as well, the Schmidt and Bender cooperation with the AI was absolutely paying off, and those scopes were freaking outstanding. I have early Schmidt and Bender scopes from the 80s, and they are just great. Absolutely, even to this day, they are great. But what we had with the A1, the time was working against it, and the Marine Corps decided to do the upgrades. So this legendary by now shape of the Macmillan stock was created for the A3, and it wasn't always like this. What you're seeing, the early form was with very aggressive hook, but that quickly was changed and replaced to the form as this is on the table. So now, that being said, initially there was no bridge for the night vision, and they still had the old scopes, old scopes. A lot of Marines, snipers, were really disappointed with the upgrade because the rifle was now heavier and there was not much changed other than stock. Yes, the stock had a cheek riser, but at the same time, the A1 with the setup like this was working very well. I mean, yes, it was old, but it was working, right? So after the brainstorming and everything, people knew that there has to be something done to the scope. The scope was aging, and as I said, the late 90s, early 2000s, the decision was made that the Schmidt and Bender is a good fit for the A3 rifle. Now, it's hard to figure it out how the kinks of that decision work out in the end, because I'm guessing there was something in the procurement papers that the scopes had to be at least assembled in the United States. And the Premier company named Premier came into the picture. They were receiving kits from Schmidt and Bender, and the Premier inside the United States was putting those scopes together, and they were then sold to the Marine Corps. Now, that led to some conflicts and the quality drops. Schmidt and Bender was blaming Premier. Premier was blaming Schmidt and Bender. Overall, the issues with the quality control were sorted out, and the PMI 2 scope was set and delivered to the Marine Corps. This was an outstanding, and it is to this day. They are sold. The PMI PM2 line is sold to this day by the Schmidt and Bender. This is outstanding glass. The turrets were fantastic. And the tracking is working really well, and you do have illumination on the reticle. So this was truly a step forward for the Marine Corps, and I'm still jealous that the Marines actually got that glass, and I support that decision. I think this was absolutely a fantastic decision. The 12 power, maximum power on that scope is all you need, and really the quality of the glass and the tracking on the turrets was spot on. Those scopes were much better than what we had from the Leopold and the Mark IV. Like if you will put two scopes together, you will immediately see that the turrets on the Mark IV are not as how I should say this, they are not as tight as on the Schmidt and Bender scopes. And then of course the quality of the glass of Schmidt and Bender is better than what the Leopold was producing on the Mark IV. So I say the Marines did much better with that selection and going into that direction. But then the next upgrade, of course, was to adding the magazine, because I think I forgot to say that the very first M40A3 was still with the built-in magazine. So adding the magazine and changing this to the MagFed system was the next step, and of course the night vision bridge up front, and we have the A3. Now the rifle was still not threaded up front for the barrel, and that took until the A5 M40A5 mode, where we had the surefire brake and the suppressor from the surefire, and then finally suppressed capabilities for the sniper weapon system for the Marine Corps. So as you can see, that time progression and the changes, it was rather a slow pace. It took to the late 90s, early 2000s, and even then when the A3 was approved, it didn't happen over the night. It was rolled out over the years. So you see the people going to the Iraq and Afghanistan still with the M40A1s or the very early A3s, and this took many years for every sniper section to have the A3 as we like to see it today. And that's some really interesting part of the history of those rifles. We take some things for granted. We take that this happened overnight, and right, the final version was revealed, but that's not the case. That's not how it worked out. So I hope you guys enjoyed a little bit of the history of the M40A3. It is a nice continuation of the whole M40 family, and we'll keep delivering on that subject, because I think the whole M40 family of the rifles for the Marine Corps, and how those rifles evolved and changed over the years for the snipers, it is absolutely fascinating. And there's not much unknown. There's no like a books written dedicated to that subject. So I'm glad that I can bring them to the table, to the shooting platform, show you how those rifles can actually shoot and deliver. Talk about the problems like on this PWS build rifle. So this is as original as it gets from Quantico, and yet we had the problem, which is rather common on the bolts. But hey, we know now, you know, what's the workaround and what to look for, but also about the history, about the old changes, how it was happening, implementing, and delivering. All right, guys, that's it. If you have any questions, please let me know. A big thanks to my friend Jerry, which without him, this episode wouldn't be possible. Big thanks to my friend Sean, who helped a lot with the materials for this video episode. As always, big thanks to our Patreons. You guys rock. Thank you for your support. And it's always great. Guys, I'm very, very grateful. As you know, our videos are demonetized by YouTube because they don't like when you talk about the guns. So it is what it is, and with the help from the Patreons, you know, it helps to cover the expenses for the ammo and things like this. So thank you very much, guys. That's it. No more bullshit talk. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.